Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Rowell. All right, today is Tuesday. It's day 2 of my training at my new job, and it continues to go well. Today was finally a little bit more interesting because we got to go out and actually wander around the facility, and I got to see the place where I'm going to work. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be really interesting. Now, one of the things I mentioned was that there were 3 people in my class. Now, apparently that's really unusual because every time one of the managers in the company has come in to do a little explanation of some part of the company in the orientation process, they've commented on the fact, oh, this is a really small group. Oh, this is a real small group. Oh, wow, this is a really small group. So, yeah, apparently I'm in a small group. I guess normally they have about 10 people per these orientation classes. So when there's only 3 of us, that kind of catches everyone's attention. But the breakdown of the group is like I said, there's 3 of us. The other 2 people are actually training for the same job. And since that job is a little bit easier, I guess, than mine is, their basic training is over now. So starting tomorrow, they actually start, well, not actually, because they're on different shifts. Remember I told you it's a 12-day or 12-hour shift, 3 days one week, 4 days the next week. And it's an A shift and a B shift. And the A shift works Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and every other Wednesday. And the B shift is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every other Wednesday. So one of them's on the A shift and one of them's on the B shift. And so the A shift person is going to go to work tomorrow. And the B shift person has a day off and then doesn't start until Wednesday. Or doesn't start until Thursday, because this is the short week for the B shift. So good to know for me also, because now I know when I'll be starting, because it'll be the long shift, or there'll be a long week next week. I know it's confusing. I can't keep track of it either. But anyway, like I said, we got to wander around the facility, and I still have 3 more days of orientation training to do, and I guess it gets a little bit more detailed into what my job is. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to work on Saturday or not, because see, normally my B shift would include the Saturday, but they may choose not to make me do that because I've already worked 5 days this week, and they probably want to kind of minimize overtime if they can. Now, they haven't been the 12-hour shifts that I thought they were going to be, so that was a good thing. But one of the things that I also had to do is we started getting into some of the online training that I need for my job. And there's about 140 things that I need to do on this online training. And a lot of it is just sitting down and reading operational guidelines, standard operating procedures. And I'll tell you, that is mind-numbingly boring. I got 5 or 6 of them done today. One of them was like 46 pages. And, reading, procedures that are 46 pages long, it just kind of, your brain starts to melt after a while. And they're just kind of, you get to the point where there was diminishing returns in terms of what I was gaining from it. And we started at about 2 o'clock. And apparently the guy who was with us the whole day, just got us in there, got us signed on onto the computers. We got our network logins today. We got our ID badges. I got my parking permit, all that stuff that I need to be a real employee. We got that all done today. And basically after they got us signed onto the computer at about 2 o'clock, the manager just said, okay, just start going through all this stuff and that's it. Just keep doing. That's what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Well, we figured at some point he was going to come back and say, okay, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, it's 5 o'clock, whatever. Wrap up and go home for the night. Well, turns out after he dropped us off at 2 o'clock, he went home. So 4 o'clock came, we were still reading our procedures. 5 o'clock came, we were still reading our procedures. 6 o'clock came, we said, okay, obviously they don't want us going all night, so we, tried to figure out, well, let's see if we can find this guy. Well, this guy's gone home. So it turned out there was somebody in there who was also reading procedures or doing online training, and she knew who the manager was, so she ended up calling him on the phone, and he actually said, oh yeah, yeah, you could have gone home at 5 o'clock. Yeah, sorry, nobody told you that. So it's 6 o'clock then, and so we wrapped up and went home at that point. We'll continue our training on other days, but like I said, it's one of those things that happen. Fortunately, I don't have to go back as early tomorrow. All my days so far have been starting at 7:45, and since my training continues more specifically with my management team tomorrow, I don't have to be there until 8:30. So, wow, I can sleep in. That's going to be nice. But it's going well. It's going to be a very interesting job. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I saw what the job, saw the location I was going to be working today, kind of got an idea how the company works a little bit better. And so, I think it's going to be good. And we're just going to keep plugging along on it. I guess my first week, my first real official day will probably be next week when I start on Wednesday. But I may work on Saturday too. That hasn't been resolved yet. So anyway, that's all I got on that. I also have a little bit more information. We've kind of decided when my father's funeral is going to be. We've decided we're actually putting it off a little bit so it'll correspond with my work week so I can be there. And in addition, my niece is going to college in Arizona. And so we've put it off until March 16th so that I can be there because I'll be off of work at that point. That'll be my long weekend, and my niece will be on spring break. So the funeral is going to be on March 16th. I'll probably go home on the 15th and stay until the 17th because then I got to come back and get ready to go back to work again. We've been in contact with my mom's brother and his daughter, who I believe are coming out. And we've also been in contact with my father's brother, who's going to come out. And they all live back in Minnesota, so I don't really get a chance to see them a whole lot. My mom's brother and his daughter Jana are on social media, so at least I kind of get to keep track of their family a little bit. My dad's brother is a different story. He's kind of the exact opposite of my dad. My dad was always someone who really got into technology. My dad's brother is kind of a hermit. He's kind of like me, but not really into the technology the way I am. He lives alone and basically just does his thing. And the pinnacle of his technology is he's got a computer with email on it, and he doesn't go on the internet very much. He doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't text. He doesn't do social media. None of that stuff. So I ended up calling him on his wired phone last night and informing him of what had happened, because I was the first person to really get through to him, because it was my father had just passed away 22 hours earlier, so I was the one that got to break the news to him. But he's going to come out and attend the funeral. And so it's going to be good to see him again. It's good to see my mom's brother and his daughter Jana. And it looks like what we're going to do is we're going to have just a family graveside service, and then there'll be a memorial service at my mom and dad's church later in the afternoon. So that's really going to be kind of the details on how all that works. And like I said, I'm going to be able to go, which is a good thing. Maybe spend a couple days with my mom. I don't know. I may come back on Wednesday. Like I said, that's going to be my long weekend, my short work week. So we'll play that by ear. But that's basically what I've got at this point. So I do know that I am going to be one of the pallbearers for this, as is my uncle on my mom's side, my mom's brother. Oh, I got to keep this all straight here. His name is Paul. Paul's going to be a pallbearer. Appropriate, right? My sister's husband, Tom, is going to be one. I think my sister's son, Sean, will also be one. And Beth Bruton's father is also going to be one. And I don't remember who number 6 is, but that's going to be something I can do for my father, and that's going to be part of the journey to his final resting place. So anyway, that's really all I have to talk about at this point. So thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.